What's up, everybody? Welcome to a special edition of the Pick Six podcast. It's special because we're joined by a very special guest, Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back Rachaad White. Rachaad, how's it going? How you doing? Thanks for joining us.
What's going on, Tyler? How you doing, man? It's an honor to be on here talking to you. Honor to be on the Pick Six podcast. Even though I ain't gonna lie, I'm against Pick Sixes, but it's an honor, to be here, man, with you.
No problem. So all right. So, we know that you're getting ready for the season, and that's what the offseason really looks like for you. But what's the fun stuff? Like, an NFL player's offseason. What does that look like for you?
It just look like a lot of things. For me, it looks like a lot of entrepreneurship. Just trying to get my foot in certain doors and learn from certain high level athletes as well as high level businessmen and women. Obviously, for me being a dad too, that's plays a lot in my off season of my daughter's 2.5, so just trying to get her into sports as well and gymnastics and swimming and just certain little things right now that 2.5-year-olds should, I feel like, for me and my household, should be doing. So she's doing that, and other than that too, just training, just staying locked in, just trying to stay in shape, trying to stay in physical form as much as I can, and that's really about it though. But just trying to live a little bit, live life, as well as like take care of business and grow my off the field process and progress.
That's great. I mean, listen, it's a long season, so you deserve the fun stuff as much as the hard work as well when you get into the off season. But it's been a busy off season for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, it's been a good been a good season. You're coming off of a division title, a playoff win against the Philadelphia Eagles, and you go into this off season and you carry the momentum by bringing back a bunch of the band members: Mike Evans, Antoine Winfield, Baker Mayfield. From your standpoint, give us a kind of a breakdown, a state of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading into 2024.
Yeah, like you said, just great bringing everybody back, bringing a lot of our leaders and our veterans, our guys that put in a lot of time in this league and at a high level back. And, it's just huge for me, young guys still coming up, becoming one of them leaders and becoming one of them voices on the team and trying to be consistent in my career like them guys is just huge. And like you said, what we're trying to do, how we finish, is kind of is most likely is how we want to start this next season. So it was grateful to get, for sure, some of our best players back on the team. And like you said, carry the momentum, keep going. Obviously, we didn't like how our season ended, but it's over with at this point now, and all we can do is focus on what's going on right here and coming up in the future. So I say it's just huge and very appreciative. We signed a safety that used to be here too. I want to give him credit. Jordan Whitehead, and huge, him and Antoine back in the back end at both at safety, and that's just huge for us. So yeah, we're excited for sure. I mean, we locked in. We're a team that's locked in.
I don't even know if it's really called recruiting, if it's a teammate coming back. But are you texting Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans being like, guys, come on, we just won the division, we just won a playoff game. You got to come back here. We got to run it back, see what we can do in 2024.
Yeah, so I wasn't really like trying to bother or text. I understand like how the business work. I did text me and Mike. I didn't do nothing of that. I just was just real and honest with him. In the aspect of like I did miss him. You when your season ends, you bittersweet moment. You like, okay, but you also like, you miss it. Like we had a chance, like you said, to win. We won the first playoff game, had a chance in the second playoff game to win, lost by a touchdown or whatever. So yeah, you just tell them the truth. And I just told Mike, that I miss him and stuff. And you just, like I miss you too and things like that. And kind of let it play out from there. I was just seeing Baker around. So we were just enjoying each other's time. He was still out in Tampa, him and his wife. And we were just trying to enjoy each other's time. And when I seen him, and it was just good vibes, So I say that's the biggest thing.
We're talking about a ton of great teammates. And, we talked a little bit before we jumped on here. You saw the Patriots logos behind me. I got to ask about one of your former teammates in Tom Brady. Obviously, you were with him during your rookie season. What was it like to be a teammate of somebody who has that stature of being the GOAT, the greatest player that's played football? What was one thing that you remember most about playing with Brady?
I just remember the most I remember is him just how he led the team, how strong and mentally strong he was. with everything that he had going on in life, and it was just huge. And how he like stayed there with us, like he, like regardless of what was going on, he had our backs and we had his back, and he fought through a lot of adversity and things like that, and that was just huge for us and huge for me to see. Obviously, for me to keep going in my career and things like that, I'll say. And the biggest thing just taught you kind of the things, the ins and outs of how you could kind of go about things and of being a pro and certain things you can sharpen up and certain things you can do in order to, you know, in order to have success in this league. So I say that's the biggest thing. And then as well as just, man, he clutch. He clutch for sure. The
One of
clutches.
the things that people say about him, when they are playing with him for the first time, they're kind of shocked about how like normal he is. They say,
Yes.
you go in, you think, oh, it's Tom Brady. And I'm sure for you as a rookie coming into the NFL, you're like, wow, I'm playing with Tom Brady. And then he comes up to you and says, hi, I'm Tom. Like, was that kind of a similar thing that you experienced?
Yeah, for sure. I was already kind of hearing before he came in though things about like how he kind of talked about me and respected how I came in to work and had my head down and focus on my job and my craft just through some of the guys on the team, going to him that was close to him, like speaking to him, putting in a good word for me because they see what I do and how I work. So it was awesome. Then yeah, for him to come up and introduce himself to me, yeah, that was awesome for sure. And then like just taking handoffs from him in practice and stuff like that, it was for sure a blessing and for sure like obviously a difference in change and a difference in life for sure.
We talk a lot about, or players talk a lot about their like welcome to the NFL moment. That oftentimes has like a negative connotation. It's usually like a big hit that you took, and you're just like, oh, this is much different than the college game. But when I think of you in your rookie season, I kind of think of your welcome to the NFL moment in a more positive way. I go back to your first start in Munich, where you had probably one of the best stiff arms that I've seen in quite a while against Quandre Diggs. I mean, and he's no slouch. You're talking about a Pro Bowl type player, and you really sent him going to a different stratosphere. Do you remember that? And can you kind of break down that play for me?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday. Yeah, like you said, man, just getting the first start in Munich was awesome. I honestly didn't almost play in that game because I had something going on like pregame, and that was crazy. So, they worked me out. Tom's guy, AG Alex Guerrero, got me right, worked on me and fixed me up. And yeah, I just remember that play. My guys did a great job of blocking. I believe it was like a power play. We had two pullers, my tight end, and obviously the down blocks going on in my line, and my tight end did a great job slash fullback. They did a great job of pulling, and they gave me enough space to work with. I slipped through a crack, and we were just open field. I really wanted to go and score, and Quandre Diggs was just taking a good angle, and you could just tell, like you said, no slouch of a player, great player, knew the game, and it was just one of them like kind of get out my way moments, like because I wanted to break and score. So he didn't move out the way, so I just for me just had to move him out the way. And like you say, yeah, it's one of the best stiff ones for sure. And I got the angry run scepter for that, but I need some more for real. So this year I'll be doing a lot of focusing on making sure I give me some more angry runs.
Do you think that is it's stiff arm? I'm saying, is that the best weapon that you have in your arsenal, or what do you think is that power? Is that something that you really try to lean on, as you were kind of saying?
Yeah, for sure. I just feel like it's moments in the game. I just feel like understanding the game is huge and understanding the time and situational football. So I would say power for sure is a huge thing. I also just say me being big, being um, you know, 6'1" and a 6'1" or above, and being able to be 220 and be able to move and be how slippery I am with how I train and things like that and apply it to the field, me and my trainers, and I apply it to the field. I say that's a huge asset because a lot of people don't be expecting me to be able to move, how I can move and things like that. So I say that's huge too.
And just speaking as somebody who will probably never be able to stiff arm somebody or juke somebody in his life, what is better in your opinion? What feels better? Is it laying on a great stiff arm, or is it juking somebody completely out of their cleats and going for a big run?
So I'll probably say like maybe I'll probably say most likely the stiff form just because it's like a tone. The presidents has been set. The presence has been set, like, kind of who you are and what you trying to establish and set the tone, especially for our offense and stuff like that as a running back. And that's why I tell my coach and my head coach all the time is like, I'm young, but I know what I am for our offense. I feel like I'm the tone setter. It all starts with me. So I say the stiff one for sure, but it is great to juke and break a long run too, though. So I say the stiff form though.
You're going into year three, and I think you're establishing yourself as one of the premier running backs in the NFL. And I think it's actually underrated how you've been able to do that under, I don't want to say adversity, but I would say changes. You're going into year three, and now you're going to have a third offensive coordinator. What is that like for somebody who doesn't really understand that? Because when you think, oh, they still have the same head coach, they're bringing back the same quarterback from a year ago, there's some stability, but there is going to be some change inherently when you're changing coordinators, specifically with you as the offensive coordinator with Dave Canales, and now you're going with Liam Cohen. What is that change like as you experienced last year?
Yeah, so I mean, I've been trying to get a lot of insight I can on like Twitter and stuff because I see a lot of guys, still and I tell everybody and I tell people on Twitter too that they got the right to, speak and voice what they want to voice and their own opinion and stuff. But I try to give a lot of guys kind of insight too of understanding like, football. And so for me, yeah, going into year three, obviously new OC. The biggest thing is for me it's kind of like it's kind of like the inevitable. I mean, like kind of what you're getting yourself into. It's tough, but I'm not gonna sit here and kind of complain about it. It kind of takes a minute for sure to get the offense going and everybody kind of to get on the same page. But I mean, with going from Dave to Lim, we'll have a good amount of like carryover. So we should all be able to be synced and in sync and understanding it. But for sure, I'll say it's not easy going on, like you said, your third OC. But when you go from a good play caller to another good play caller, you shouldn't like really have too much problems. And that's how I look at it for me. But yeah, it's for sure tough. I mean, we done battled through a lot here in Tampa. I mean, we had to move a guy that played like Robert Hainsey, and I give him a lot of credit. A guy that played guard and tackle his whole career to now in the league. When Jensen goes down my rookie year, he played center in the NFL, the National Football League, for the first time in his life. Like, so I try to give guys a lot of insight. Like, it's not easy, and what like certain guys are asked to do, But at the end of the day, we got to do what we got to do. So I say the biggest thing is, yeah, you going from a good play caller to another good caller, then it shouldn't be a problem, but it is tough. Obviously, new verbiage, learning new things and stuff like that, and how Lim want to run instead of understanding and knowing. It would have been going into year two with Dave, and we already on the same page.
It does help as you're bringing back Mayfield and obviously Mike Evans. When you have at least that continuity on the field with players, I would imagine that would help. One thing that's coming up on the NFL calendar is the NFL draft. And I think you might be one of the more perfect people to talk to because you have some insight into one of the top prospects in this draft. You played at Arizona State with Jayden Daniels, who, Heisman Trophy winner at LSU, but played his days with him at Arizona State. Can you give us a scouting report of him and what we should expect to see what he looks like at the next level?
Yeah, that's my brother, and man, he's just a game changer. I'm so proud of him. I mean, we text before every Saturday game. We text and talk all the time. We FaceTime every week and talk. Man, I'm so proud of what he's done. I mean, I think the biggest thing, like I said, he's a game changer, and at the end of the day, what he gonna give you as a competitor. He gonna give you be a quarterback that can. He gonna go out there and give you his all. He gonna go out there, make the right decisions, regardless what it is. I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna be on him because he gonna have to slide more in the NFL though, and stop trying to do all the juking and running that he was doing in college. But I respect that that's a part of his game, and I don't want him to change any of that. But you just get a guy that's like he said the other day, like he a playmaker. And that's what you're getting. A guy that's a playmaker, a guy that's going to put everything on the line in order to win. And whoever getting whatever in the top five picks, they getting a guy that's going to change the organization.
Do you see a team that maybe fits him a little bit better than most? I personally, I was thinking, I thought Washington, who has number 2 overall pick, kind of tipped their hand a little bit. We were talking about this on the podcast when they signed Marcus Mariota, a somewhat similar skill set to Daniels, mobile kind of quarterback. Do you think that Washington makes a lot of sense? New England has the number 3 overall pick. There's some other teams that could vault up for a quarterback. Do you see a team that says that's perfect for my buddy Jayden?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, kind of. I be seeing rumors about the Raiders and stuff like that, but I don't really know how. Like, I don't trust a lot of things on the internet. As we know, we can't. But, I say probably them 2 teams, probably the Washington or the Raiders. I think it'd be a great fit for him. And just seeing what they got on the roster and seeing what they got going on. But at the end of the day, I know he's gonna make the best of whatever situation he goes to. And in reality, that's what the NFL is about. It's about situations, about where you go, and it's about how you handle adversity, adjust, and what you go through. So I think regardless where he go, he's gonna be straight. But yeah, I say Washington or Vegas is a good situation for him for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see how he translates to the league. And I'm certainly excited to see what he looks like and what the talent he has to bring it to the NFL. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot, though, because we're going to play a quick game here. We're going to do this or that. I'm going to give you 2 running backs in NFL history, and you simply have to choose one. And it's not going to be easy because they're all great. But we're gonna go down the list here. First up, Bo Jackson or Adrian Peterson?
Adrian Peterson.
Emmitt Smith or Barry Sanders?
Barry Sanders.
Walter Payton or Derrick Henry?
Walter
See, it's
Payton.
tough. I know it's tough.
Walter
I was going through this list too, and I'm like, whoo, he's gonna have a hard time here. But only 2 more here: Marshall Faulk and Christian McCaffrey.
Marshall Faulk.
Chris Johnson or Jerome Bettis?
Chris Johnson.
All right. 2K, CJ 2K. All right, and then we're gonna do a blind ranking here. Another quick game, and obviously your last name's White, so we have to come up with a blind ranking of things that are white. So we're gonna go down the list here, and you're just gonna give me a ranking 1 through 10 on these, somewhat household, I would say, things or everyday things. So first up, 1 through 10, vanilla ice cream.
6.
6. Chalk.
2.
2. Okay. You use chalk? I almost feel like I was on the back end of chalk with going through school. I was always like a marker and pen guy.
2.
Rice.
5.
Okay. Milk.
8.
Polar bear.
1.
Paper.
7.
Snow.
3.
Teeth.
Oh. 10. Gotta have great teeth.
Clouds.
Clouds. I'm at 4.
And then last but not least, Reggie White.
9.
I think that has to put him at 9. Oh,
9.
Reggie White. Come on now.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for being a good sport with that. But before we get out of here, I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America.
Yeah. So Big Brothers, Big Sister, they got the big draft coming up, man. And I just want to say shout out to all the bigs and all the littles that's coming up in the program. Obviously, with me, Rachaad White, I was a little, and I'm still in close contact with my big, and my family. We all close and stuff with him, and it just makes a huge impact in life to support and just kind of change a little's life. So I want to say shout out to all the bigs and all the littles out there, and people that's deciding to be one. I also want to say for the people that's trying to figure out if they should or not, I think you should. It's important to have to change someone's life and for things in life to be bigger than you. I mean, if you can't do it, then I understand it, and I understand how life works and support regardless. But I want to say shout out to big brothers, big sisters. They're huge to me. I do a lot with them, and I'm looking forward to keep going and keep going and supporting them.
Absolutely. Check out Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America. Anything that you can do would certainly be appreciated. And we appreciate you, Rachaad White, Tampa Bay Bucs wide receiver, joining us here on the Pick Six podcast. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Of course, man. Appreciate you for having me on.